My short answer is no, because wanting to learn, that's a interpersonal thing that you develop over time. You either want to continue higher education or you don't. There's never an in between. And some people, they feel like, well, I need to go to college in order to be great. When that's really not the case. When you could go to a 2 year community college and get the same education in a shorter time. The 4 year degree, for the most part, it requires more work that certain people just aren't cut out to want to do. And in today's age, as we all see on the applications, work experience is value more than the degree. Why is that? Because the inflation of degrees. You have all these graduates who have the same degree. So what separates Joe from John? Well, it's his work experience. If John has 1 year work experience plus a 4 year degree, he's gonna have the edge on Joe. And I kind of brushed past it earlier when I said when you come from low class and how it relates to education, you kind of have this pull and push effect when it comes to higher education. Because if you're conditioned over a long period of time and you're constantly hearing your friends in your echo chamber that saying, we're never going to use this in our day to day lives, you feel that college will be a waste of time. You will think, well, there are other options, which there are. And what are these options I speak of? Well, that's for you to do your own research and determine the best avenue of approach. Because college is just another option. College isn't the end all be all. It's an option, but you can't be blamed for what you're conditioned to believe. And it also could have an adverse effect. Think about it. If the elites are the only ones going to college and they're getting the high paying jobs and you make college free, what about the people who decide not to go to college and they just get a job at their parents' firm? When you allow them to go to college for free, they're gonna be able to say, "Well, I didn't just get handed this job; I also have the degree." And with this degree, they're gonna be able to network more and more with their parents and get access to more jobs versus those of from low class. It all boils down to being prepared. If you're being prepared from birth all the way from K through 12 about how to approach college, you're gonna be more successful than someone who's not. I wasn't prepared at all when it came to college and picking my major, but I had a clean grasp of the ideology. But it's a broad topic. So, how did I know I was in the right spot? Well, I didn't. It's all about trial and error. And that's what it all boils down to in this economy. It's about trial and error. What are you going to do in order to make this free country benefit you? Because there's so many opportunities. And for the people who say, well, what are the opportunities? Well, you have these same people who go to college and they pick majors that they know have no snowball's chance in hell of earning them an honest living. Now, during COVID, I got a glimpse of what would happen if you were to give people the opportunity to get free money. What would they do with it? Well, they'll burn through it faster than their own money because they'll view it as free money. And what do you do with free money that you found laying around? You say, well, I could just go and buy a car. I can go and get another house or an expense that's gonna hurt me in the long run. And that's what happened. That's what caused the inflation to shoot up so high because people were consuming so much goods that businesses and this free enterprise felt that okay, they're consuming it at such a high rate. Let me raise the price and see if they still continue to consume it, which they did. Now, I'm all for the equal distribution of goods, but I'm also for common sense. Like, it has to make sense because although you may lower the tuition to get into the college, you still have to worry about a food plan, room and board, books, transportation. So you're still spending a large chunk of money when it comes to college because there are a lot of things that go into making the college run. An example of free college could be California's community fee college waiver program, where over 50% of the state's students attended a community college for free, and less than 10% of students completed a 2 year degree program in 6 years. So, will people be motivated to go if they're afforded the opportunity to attend for free? That's the main question. Is If you give someone something for free, will they value it more than someone that pays for it? And I think we all know the answer to that question. I'm sure we've all given someone something for free only for them to use it like it doesn't even matter to them. Quick question. Do you appreciate something more if it's given to you for free or when you have to work for it? It may seem like a straightforward question, and I do understand that more times than not, some things are situational. An example could be if you're given an opportunity, say for free, you're gonna appreciate it because now you get to showcase your abilities and your skills. And that's how I view the classes. Being from a low class, you're expected to fail. And if you fail, no one bats an eye. And that's why it's so fun for me to be able to showcase my skills and my abilities because it's unexpected. And what do you do with something that's unexpected? Nothing. You simply find the appreciation for it. You appreciate that you're able to do something different. Which brings me to my final talking point for the video. The resources that are free in America. For the most part, the resources that are free are government assisted and they are really reserved for those who fall into that low class. So I can talk about this because I experienced it firsthand. And what I experienced was welfare, which is a form of government assisted reserved for people who fall within a certain tax bracket. Well, they fall outside the tax bracket. Welfare acts as a buffer to kind of hold you over until you get back on your feet. Now, these free resources are in communities of people who are less fortunate, let's be honest. So, what would you do if you're given something for free for, say, 6 months? You're gonna get reliant on that, and it's gonna act as a handicap. And this crutch is gonna assist with your handicap until you're able to rehab and get back on your feet. But what about the people who abuse it and stay in on the outside of certain tax brackets to abuse the system and overuse something that the people who actually need it can't get to? Now, growing up, we receive certain welfare benefits, and I can be honest with you guys and say that I was ashamed. Now, this is from the viewpoint of a 10-year-old kid. Now, as a grown man, I now understand how it benefited us because we actually needed the assistance. And I probably gave my mom a hard time because I was always asking questions about why are we on food stamps and all these questions that probably stressed her out more than I originally had thought that I was doing. That was not my goal. It's just as a child, you're constantly asking these questions. And when you're growing up and hearing people talk about they're gonna stay in certain jobs, they're not gonna go for the raise or get a higher paying job because they want their house to continue to be paid for and they want to continue to receive these high amounts of food stamps just so they can in turn sell those food stamps and buy things of no value. And this is the problem within my community. I'm gonna say it. This is the problem with us wanting to be in the victim role and continue to take all these benefits, which then lead to generational incompetency. But I think it's time for us to break out of the nightmare that we continue to live in because every now and then we get a 30-second sweet dream. And in this 30-second sweet dream, we still waiting 30 days because the government's holding us over and giving us free benefits. Now, there is also a psychology when it comes to socioeconomic classes. Yes, when you're in lower classes, you value things that you have to work for. Myself, I prefer a hard 24/7. Now, I understand how the system works. But when people abuse the system, you then have people making videos on various social media sites where they're saying we want free, but they're not calling out the people who are abusing the system. But as I said earlier, that's just my opinion. What do you think? I'd love to hear your thoughts down in the comment sections. That's all for now, guys. Peace.